One fall evening in the late 1800s, a crowd of college-age men chattered around an open field, their voices loud and boisterous, their breath visible in the crisp air. Colored leaves covered the ground like a tattered quilt, spread across every inch of the faded green grass. The sun was setting, and the sky was bursting grapefruit pink along the horizon. 10 women of a similar age, dressed in skirts and stockings, were split into 2 sides. 5 sported the colors of Yale, the other 5, Princeton. Both universities that women would not be allowed to attend as students for another 70 years. Little did the crowd know, the women weren't there to prance around and look cute for the boys. They were there to play football, and maybe even kick each other's asses. And they didn't care who was watching. This women's football scrimmage took place at Sulzer's Harlem River Park on November 21, 1896. It was written about in New York City's The Sun, and is said to be the first instance ever recorded of women playing football. At the time, everyone agreed that women were too fragile and demure to play sports. Male physicians then, and for decades after, deemed any sort of physical activity harmful to women and their reproductive organs, which were, of course, considered the most important part about them. And football was on a completely different level. Women were far too delicate for such roughness and brutal physicality. They belonged at home, tidying up the kitchen, making endless sandwiches, and mending torn slacks. The game at Sulzer's Harlem River Park was meant to be a joke, a form of entertainment preceding a fancy-pants masked ball for the members of a men's uppity social club. But apparently, someone forgot to tell the women. Once the ball was kicked, the players tore into each other with such fervor that the game turned into a fierce, physical, and scrappy rumpus. Before long, the cops were called to break up the game out of fear for the women's safety. Had the men not clutched their pearls, the scrimmage would have continued, and who knows what would have happened.